We are off to the races.
Well, welcome everybody. It is Thursday, December the 2nd. If I got that right? Yeah, looking at my phone.
It's almost Christmas, y'all.
That's right. Yeah, it is Thursday, December 2nd. It is it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and it's look a lot like the Traderverse community update. And with me here today is Zach. You know him here as Smart Rick. You know, well, he's also, I thought you were Dumb Brick over here, but
nope.
I guess you're a little of
everything.
That's
my name. Like, that's my actual Discord username. And so Dumb Brick 3962 to be exact. I guess there's 3,962 of us, maybe that's how it works. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm Voice of DeFi 0898, and I don't think there's 897 other. I mean, there's only one Voice of DeFi. Let's make that clear.
It's you.
Yes, number 898 in Discord, but number 1 in your hearts. It's me.
There can only be one Highlander. Only one Highlander.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So what do we do here on Thursdays? We take a break from Twitter Spaces, which we do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And on Thursday and Friday, we head over here to the crazy Discord land of the world. And here we'll do a community update. And on Fridays, we do it even more special. We'll have an AMA that we'll do with a guest. This one's a little bit different in the AMA in that Zach has met them in real life. He's hanging out in New York in multi-million-dollar places where he can, or a multi-million-dollar place where he's able to hang out with a lot of other people.
Yes, absolutely. And then this morning we had actually a bunch of creators in our living room that are like, in various, mostly TikTokers that. One had like 3.5 million on TikTok, which is just, that's 10% of the country. If you look at just America, that's just crazy to me.
It's insane.
That's just really is. Just really think about those kind of numbers. I mean, there was like a skateboarder here. There was, someone who actually does like murals and, just various creators here, and they were just here as a resource to kind of talk to us about just various stuff.
Wait, so living in the house is a skateboarder creator? A creator?
He was in the last cycle, like he was in the last go of it. But every Thursday they do coffee and creators, and like they have like whatever creators are either from New York come, or if they're visiting, they come in. We have coffee. They listen to us about our projects. Maybe some collaboration in the future, or just like what it's like to build a community following around, themselves, and not necessarily like a project like Traderverse, but like people and like what they've done. So
yeah, and it sounds like it's varied spaces. It's not all fintech or anything like that. It's skateboarding even, which I don't know why I'm stuck on the skateboarding one, because
you're a shredder. That's why you like kickflips. And
I saw a comedian one time. She goes, whenever I walk home, I walk by the skate park, and the only thing I ever want to ask them is, do you ever land a trick ever? And it's true. Whenever you just happen to see somebody like working on their moves, they don't seem to stick the landing very often, in what seems like not at all. But I know they do. But yeah, so you stuck the landing. You've made it into New York. You're hanging out with all these other creators and founders and just people that know the industry pretty well. Tell everybody how you got to pitch Traderverse a little bit the other day, because that's ultimately what we're going to talk about. How was the reception whenever you pitched?
So yeah, like one of the things that we really wanted to focus on with me going here was outreach and getting our footing into the Web3 space by building community. This house is a community, big time, and like we're all working on various things, whether it be gaming, NFTs, or launching a token, perhaps. Everyone's doing a little bit. There's not a lot of crossover in what we're all doing. It's kind of cool. And when we pitched, when I pitched, excuse me, and like just went through our pitch deck, which can be found on our website. Shameless plug. Everyone was like, "Holy cow! Like this is amazing! Like this, each one of your dApps is like a project within itself." And we're with an exhausted look on my face, I'm like, I know, we're taking a big bite, and there's some really good questions of like, where would you begin, and but where we are beginning is Tradeverse Streams, which I think is what we're going to be talking about today, and but they were the end of it was like, how can I help you? That's a really big part of this house is like, how can I help you? And like that was our big thing is we want to get exposure to what we're doing, and we've been kind of hush hush for so long, and now we're like we want to be an active participant in this space, helping other NFT projects, working with other DAOs or coins or technology partners to get our name out there.
So, one thing I want to, you mentioned that yesterday that they said, wow, each of these dApps could have been, why you're here in and of themselves. And then you're trying to do 6 of them. As yourself and Serum and everybody that kind of birthed the idea of Traderverse, did you realize you were, I don't want to say I was going to say biting off more than you could chew, but that's not true. You're obviously chewing. But did you realize how big of a endeavor it was going to be?
That's a really good question. At the beginning it was so organic. Like when we started it, we were just thinking, oh, we could do like a really kick-ass Discord server using Tradion, and that's where it kind of started. And then I built like using XD because I'm a very visual person. To illustrate a point, I built an XD like this really mock like news aggregator that would look kind of like chat bubbles, like an iMessage of like real-time news coming in. And I explained it to Serum and something like clicked in his head, and he's like, yeah, we could do something with this. And then obviously he's made it way better because that's his his strength. But
right, you come up with an idea and then he perfects it or whatever. He's the you're Steve Jobs, he's Bill Gates.
Something like that. And even Mike and John, we kept like throwing ideas at him of like, oh, we could do this, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then at a certain point he was like, all right, we got enough. Like, this is like, let's actually start working on it. And then once we took a step back and really looked at what we were trying to do, we were like, oh boy, like this is a lot of stuff.
Well, it's funny because it sounds like you guys actually stopped brainstorming at some point and say, okay, we've got enough. This is enough for launch. But it sounds like you even would have further ideas even after, the ideas that you have. So, Traderverse can continue to grow.
We do. We actually have some stuff that we haven't even talked about that are going to be coming out that we're really keeping close to us just because they are such a fun or cool idea that like, because we're doing so much, it's not necessarily the first thing that you're going to see, and we don't want someone to be like, I like this proposed idea and steal it from us. So like there are other things outside of what is listed on our deck and our website, or what we talked about in Spaces, that we are doing that are going to be pretty fun.
Awesome. Well, okay, so you mentioned 6 different dApps. Let me see if I've got these right. Are these the dApps you said? You went Streams, Tradion, Colonies, Cloud Docs, Market, and Comet Charts. Is that the 6 plays in the playbook?
Well, yes. So that is the broad, I would say, divisions within our technology. Yes.
Great. Okay. Well, that is a lot, and they're absolutely right. Any of these is a product in and of themselves, and to do all of these products in one platform is next level, and it truly hasn't been done. But let's talk about some of these today. Streams, that first one. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here so that you can answer. Okay. And that's, Streams, somebody's just going to say, oh, that's just a YouTube knockoff or something like that. Well, first of all, and I'm going to answer for you, and then it'll just be a discussion point.
Go on.
I'm always worried about YouTube as you put in, financial stuff, particularly crypto stuff. And I don't know if they're quite as, coming down hard on people that are doing stock analysis, but there's always the thought of they could just ban it outright. They banned crypto advertising, and then you're always worried, well, this could be some sort of see on the front. So there is already a potential because, Traderverse is made for the trader. Of course, it's going to have that sort of content on it. As to where on YouTube, like I said, it's anything. I could see cat videos at the same time, right after I look at, different trading analysis. So yeah, what makes it different? What makes Streams different from what else is already out there.
No, and thank you for that wonderful delivery. The like, and you can say that about any social media, like even like Twitter. Like, there's so much financial FinTwit stuff out there, right? But also there is the cat videos and the memes that are unrelated. So you still have to weed through all of that stuff. So yes, it's one part like all of the data, all the financial stuff will be all in one place. But also, there's more utility as being a creator that none of these other platforms offer.
For sure. And then, we can always create Cataverse later whenever we want to get the cat
absolutely.
videos.
One at a time, though.
Yes. I can't wait till you're at Launch House discussing your Cataverse idea. I think that would really impress them and make them think like, wow, this guy's
that's like, I think that's like really high level, like Shark Tank type stuff. Like, I'm seeking 10% of my company at a $1 million for Cataverse.
I think Cuban is in. I think he definitely wants to know more about Cataverse. So streams, that you're right. In and of itself, it has a lot of utility, but I want to go into streams a little bit more, and we're going to have to go a little bit different direction and talk about Takeoff Token a little bit. Streams can be different in that you could have, I could tip you right in the Takeoff Token if I really like your content, or I could paywall, correct, if I want to have some really good analysis that you have to pay to get into. Is that one of the big differentiating, factors is Takeoff Token as you deal with stream? And we'll mention Takeoff Token quite a bit in a lot of these, I'm sure. But is that one of the big things that makes streams a lot different is rewarding?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's, so Takeoff Token is in it like a huge integral part of this whole ecosystem, and not just in streams. It's really what makes everything kind of talk outside of the AI, like which is obviously another discussion. But like that's another piece, the cheese of the sandwich that keeps everything together, is the token. And being able to tip, which the reason why we love tipping is there's so many good creators out there giving away free content and they're getting nothing in return, and a lot of people want to be able to reach out to their favorite creator, build a better relationship. And there are Patreons, there are Discord servers, and you mentioned paywall. And one of the things that we're working towards is, say you have a Discord community or a future colonies, like you can put, a paywall around that, or your Discord service does have a paywall, but you do have media content, live streams that you do internally. We're going to make it so you can actually view that kind of content on streams, but you have to be in those servers.
Oh, okay. I like that. Where basically it's gated, but you have to actually be in certain servers or colonies or anything like that to be able to get in. I like that because there's some exclusivity that kind of brings in, that you feel like you're part of the, you're part of the crew, that sort of thing. So
yeah, and it's like it's having the library. So like not everyone can go to live events. Like not everyone that's going to be listening to the show is going to be listening to us live. People have jobs, they have time, and just because a lot of these live traders are doing it live in action doesn't mean some of it isn't educational. And also when it comes to an interview or a podcast, or like you can listen to it at any time at any of your convenience.
Awesome. So also, just to make sure I'm understanding, can I comment on all these videos? Is it like YouTube in that I can see comments if somebody says, love what he said there at the 10-minute mark or something like that? Will that be available?
Yeah. So that kind of stuff will be available. So will a rating system. We'll be doing ratings, and not just a thumb up or thumb down, to give a better look for the creator to see like what they're doing good and what they're doing bad and who likes it. So there'll be analytics for the creator to be able to see how they're doing as well.
Okay, great. And it looks go into traderverse.io, which hint, if you're listening,
nudge.
Check out traderverse.io.
Nudge.
Yeah, there's right. You can see in it, you can go to apps, and under apps, you can click on streams. Now, once you do, you'll actually see a lot of content creators that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different little icons that are on here. Are these creators that have already agreed and signed on to put content out with Traderverse streams?
It's correct. This is a lot of these people are ambassadors or have agreed to create, and they're either on one of the medias. They're either on Twitter Spaces, they have a show, or they have a YouTube channel, or a podcast, video podcast type of situation. But yeah.
Okay, great. And some of them, I can see Suga and Sherm. I see Crypt Talk. I see OTC Club. See a picture of Christine here. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of them are people that are well known in the space as well. So these are people that will bring an audience into streams, and then already from day one, you'll have some amount of content already for streams. Is that the idea? Is that why you guys have already tried to make relationships with these creators?
Yes, absolutely. So, like part of it is empowering the trader. That's our slogan, empower traders. And, these creators are traders, but they're being gracious enough to share their information, their community with you or with people. And they want to, build a bigger following, and so one of the things you mentioned earlier about YouTube and stuff like that, I don't know how well know or how much you know about it, but like if you are just starting out now, like it's really hard to get the algorithm to like you because there is so much there. And so with us, we like not only are we at the niche where you are served, but it's kind of like a brand new playing field. It's everyone's starting from zero kind of thing. So a lot of these people who are quality people who may have been late to the party have a better chance of being discovered to build a community around them.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's absolutely correct on YouTube. It's very saturated. You can still get started on YouTube. It's just, you've got to start with 0 subscribers, and you're going to have to build your way up, and the algorithm may not smile on you. Sometimes you have to sacrifice animals to the altar of the almighty algorithm. You have to do blood sacrifice. It seems to like the most. Just whatever it takes to be able to get that algorithm to smile on you. And it's because it's very established. There's a lot of users and a lot of people that are jostling for people's eyeballs. And with Traderverse, first of all, you'll know that anybody that's in there is interested in your niche already, right? You'll know that they're traders. You'll know that they're interested already in your content. As to where on YouTube might have more of the cat video person, right? You never know who might get on there. So yeah, you might be able to be one of these early adopters of a platform and get a good following because you were early. And to me, that's big. And that's also even big from I don't want to just think of creator standpoint. I want to think about the content consumer standpoint too. Is if I'm looking for trading type advice or just trading talk in general, Traderverse would be a great place to go. I mean, it's really kind of laser focused at what it's doing. All right, on streams, we can talk about streams more in a bit because I think it all kind of goes back to it. But I got to talk about Tradion. Okay, so Tradion, give me a quick little synopsis over it. I want to say AI, but I feel like you've got more to say about it than just AI.
I mean, it is an AI. It is an artificial intelligence and has machine learning practices. But the way we're different than all the other AIs, because that seems to be the name of the game these days, is everyone's got a fun, flashy AI. And we got one too, but ours is more geared towards the user. It's more geared towards you. It's your trading companion. That is what Tradion stands for. So think Amazon Alexa or your Siri, but for trading. No, you won't be able to have a Prime membership with Tradion, but you will be able to ask it a lot of questions, and it should give you a lot of answers. It will help you do a lot of different things that you wouldn't have to do or you'd have to do manually. And so it's an assistant, a time saver, an efficiency person, and it also gives great insights of not only social sentiment, price prediction, but analyze your portfolio.
Okay. I got all kinds of questions here. Social sentiment, yeah. Yeah, I got to think about things. Okay, so social sentiment. I'm in front of my computer. I've fired up Tradion, and I'm wondering, I wonder what everybody's thinking about Nvidia right now. Okay, as a stock. Wondering what the social sentiment is on that. Are people talking good about it, bad about it on Twitter and different social medias? How will it kind of fill that gap for me? How's it going to answer that question?
So, like, part of it is it goes out to all of these places where we already exist, like your Twitters, your stock twits, your Reddits, and it does mentions. It's she's how many times it's mentioned that that cash tag that everyone uses. It also goes out and looks at how the verbiage of it's like talked about, like what context are people talking about it.
So if like the word sucks or something, or
it's negative,
in it a lot, then it might say sentiment is down. I don't know what the verbiage it'll use, but sentiment is not as high. But if it's a lot of to the moon emojis, then it might give me a different. Is it? I don't have to ask about the UI, but I'm almost imagining like a speedometer or something that's telling me what the sentiment is.
Yeah, it'll be something like that where it'll show, and like Robinhood, and the reason why it's so popular is like it does such a great job simplifying like what things are, and like it's a very aesthetically pleasing UI, and that's like what we're trying to take here, do very high-plex, complex stuff on the back end that help you see clean, easy to understand data, and then also give you a little bit of the why, why it is the way it is, so you can learn, because it's not, we don't want to rely on machine, all the time. Yeah, this is, trading is a skill that we all should try to actively get better on, and not rely necessarily on others and technology, but definitely leverage those things, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own trading.
Sure. But yeah, as I think about trading, and here's my issue with, like, if I just go to Twitter right now and say, I'm going to find me some good stock tips, some good crypto coins to invest in, then there's so much noise. It's hard for me to like get a good grasp, because, there's so much of buy this and check this out. This one's going to the moon. Sure thing, 100x. Sure thing, 1000x. This is a low market cap gem.
One moon, one Lambo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ben Moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Ben Lambo.
Yeah, every time I see all of it, I end up sometimes just being like, it's just too much. Every token, every new token and coin is going to the moon, and in the end, I'm just not going to do anything. I just don't know what to do because it's too much in my little feeble,
overstimulating. Overstimulating for sure.
Correct. My little human brain can't digest it all, but AI can. And to me, that's what I like about it, is it can look through everything that's put out there and give me a little bit of, I don't want to call it an average or a mean, but a little
snapshot.
Snapshot. That's a great way to put it. A snapshot of what the sentiment is right then. Because we also need to know that it could change quickly. Because tomorrow, whenever I look for the same sentiment for the exact same stock, that could change really quickly, right? Look at that Twitter, where they halted trading the other day whenever Jack stepped down, and it spiked up huge. And then I don't know what it is today, but yesterday it had dipped below what it began before he had stepped down. So, yeah, sentiment really changed. Okay, now I've got some live Twitter look over. TWTR, right?
Correct.
Stock. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's recovered. It's recovered a little bit, but it is lower since they halted trading now. So it's down to $42, and whenever trading was halted, it was a high of near $52. So it's almost down $10 since then. It just shows you sentiment can really change. Right after he announced it, it was big trading, huge. Like I said, it went up to $52, and now sentiment has changed. And you would need some AI to possibly be able to figure that out in real time to make trading decisions based on it. And this is normally things that, to me, I don't want to say institutional, but maybe institutional traders or, well-versed, well-plugged-in traders have had access to, and retail traders have not. So in a bit, do you look at TRADERVERSE as a way to kind of level the playing field amongst the people that maybe traditionally haven't had these tools?
Absolutely. And so one of the things when you kind of do this kind of idea, like the staging phase of our company, like the discovery phase, the research phase, everyone knows Bloomberg Terminal. Bloomberg Terminal is the standard on Wall Street, what people use to execute trades, but also do research. But it's $25,000 a month to license one of these terminals.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you may have $25,000 just sitting around. I can't can't buy 1 month of that.
No, I don't. Like not on a monthly unless I want to be living in my Bloomberg terminal.
Well, right, yeah, that's right. Let me say that. Yeah, I could afford it, but I couldn't. I may have to like stop eating or something like that.
Yeah, I would have to liquidate my portfolio.
Right, I'll liquidate the portfolio, but I've got real time data, so yeah, it would be a little difficult. So, okay, we've just as a review, if you've just joined in, we've covered the streams of Traderverse, and then we went on and covered Tradeon, which is the AI component or the assistant of Tradeon. But next one gets in a bit more into what we're in right now, which is Discord. Is you can have different groups. You can have different groups that you're a part of, and that gets into colonies of Traderverse. Tell me a little bit about what colonies are and kind of how it will help a trader.
So colonies are for communities. So like Traderverse itself is a this Discord right here is a community full of people to ask questions, to talk about trading, and listen to us speak sometimes. And but the colonies is ultimately going to be like our Discord-like service. Like it's a chat room, and in trading, there are a lot of things that don't make sense for using Discord, like the way messages are sent, lost, and if there's a really active one, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we want to integrate some of our AI. We want to integrate certain like niche features that make just more sense for a community chat room. Like let's use the example of a hedge fund. Like you don't think that they have an inter office communication?
Yeah, of course they. I mean, it'd be silly not to.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm here. Sorry. So, like a Bloomberg terminal actually has a Bloomberg chat feature.
I've never really laid my eyes on one, so yeah, I wouldn't know. But yeah, that makes sense. Where you can have, some discussion about what you're seeing.
Exactly. It's almost like a social media, honestly. Like, but for investors, like what we are, except hardware and different, but same but different.
You could have a colony that's based around either a content creator themselves, like Smart Rick's picks are amazing. He's got his own colony, and you could be running your own colony there. Or you could probably have a colony that's just about a certain token and all the goings-ons of that token or coin, right?
NFT project, yeah, the list goes on and on.
Okay. Man, and this gets me excited about Traderverse for this reason. So you said NFT project, which I think is a great thing to mention here. So if I'm running an NFT project, I'll say, follow me on my Discord server, right? And, I would say maybe most, but a lot of NFT projects have a Discord server where they can talk about, the launch date, the minting price, the different things that are going on with that community. And that community kind of lives there. But Discord is for gamers. It's for, all kinds of different things. It's not, NFT specific. But if somebody said, hey, instead of being on Discord, I'm going to start being on the Traderverse colonies. Well, now also, not only are you where all the traders and all the NFT people are, but now you can also have all these like-minded people where maybe somebody could have streams or a blog post or, anything like that to let you know, who's all there. I can see why the colonies in and of itself are nice. But if I took it beyond that and I said the colonies with these other features, well, now it makes the colonies a lot more valuable because that's something that Discord doesn't have, is all these other things tied into it.
And so, like, let me give you an example of like kind of my story a little bit. Is like, that's where I began my trading journey, was through Discord, and I found a community, and then that community was an options trading community, and we decided, or I was like doing research as kind of like my niche that I like to do because it's just kind of my background, and I started my own blog to demonstrate to my whole server because I couldn't type out everything. And I remember the first one I did was Neo, the EV car company. Like I couldn't do a Wikipedia essentially post about that company, what they're doing, their partnerships in a Discord, without it getting lost 30 seconds later because it was a pretty high trafficked area. But if I sent a link to a blog, then it would work. So, and then I would go on to Twitter and promote it. So I'm going to 3 different platforms in order to try to grow my community, my value, which is this DD pack. And so now we're building those solutions all in-house in one ecosystem that uses one central, or I wouldn't say centralized because it's not centralized, but like one centralized place to use it. which you can obviously trade it off chain and do other things with takeoff token. But it's all these applications talk to each other and are really streamlined to work together very well.
That's awesome. And, this isn't, we're talking about all the different dApps inside, inside Traderverse. But I got to mention that as you're putting it all together, and I know that the graphics, that the UI, the way that it all can work together, if you just look at the website, you can see that Traderverse really cares about how things look. It's beautiful. I love the color scheme, everything like that. So I think it will be inviting to want to use, apart from its actual utility, but almost from its beauty as well, which I think kind of gets into colonies and maybe even streams, is people want to be in something that's like pleasing to the eye. And so I just wanted to say that because it looks really good.
I mean, you can thank Sarum, our CEO, for that. I mean, and all the time that he's had at Adobe, that was his job, so like he understands that and how it needs to be clean. It needs to look really nice. And like, as much as I don't use Robinhood anymore just because there's more advanced features to other platforms for trading, but like they do a really great UI. Like it's so nice and so easy to use, where you can download it, get approved, and start trading and like learn everything you need to do in 90 seconds.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that with Robinhood because they had the UI down. I had just read the book by Ben Mesrick. It's called it's about the GameStop short squeeze, and it's a great book, but it talked about in it how there was new traders that got in with Robinhood, and they were so enamored by the confetti that would come down whenever they bought a stock or something like that. It made them feel good, like they won something. And so UI definitely like brought them into that, and the book was about the GameStop short squeeze, so it brought them into a crazy world that ultimately it was a good UI. It made it look good. So with Traderverse, I can just see that Sarum obviously has an eye for it. And like you said, some time at Adobe would certainly help with that. But yeah, it just adds a coat of paint, and more than a coat of paint, just an ease of usability that I think he demands from any project that he'll be associated with.
Absolutely. He's a stud. Like when I met him, and we started to learn more and more about him because it's not like we like, here's my resume, here's your resume. It was more of a natural friendship. That's really what it was with all of our founders, is we knew each other for a decent period of time, and each time we would speak about this idea, we would like tell a little piece of our stories and like what we've done, and that's how come we added fuel to our fire, and every time Sarum opened his mouth, it was like, you've done what? And you did that? And that was your background? You're like, it's just like, how in the world did we meet on the internet of all places? And
well, some people are supposed to meet each other, right? And
it's fate. It's fate. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And that's kind of like what we're trying to recreate with Traderverse, is like we want to have more fortunes, more people collaborating together to do this kind of stuff. And like we said it from the very beginning, because we all live all over the country and some international people as well, is like, if we can build this company remote, and we all met for the first time like about a month ago in real life, and it was like, if we can build this company, anyone can use our platform to collaborate and succeed in trading.
Yeah, and I think it's neat that you guys all met kind of like that, but now through meeting like this, you may create a platform that has a lot of other people that may have the exact same story that will say, we all met at Traderverse. How did this NFT? How did your team meet? And they may say, we all met through Traderverse. So the genesis of how you guys met may lead to other people meeting in the exact same fashion. So.
And being that community, like that situation, the hypothetical that you just said, like of people succeeding using Traderverse and like passing that torch like on to other people in their network, is like, that's what dreams are made of for me. Like that's my goal. Like Sarum's is building and architecting this platform, and he's doing an amazing job, and everyone else has a job, but mine is community. And like, if we start having the best traders, the most success and gains, obviously there'll be wins and losses, but like, that's all I want in this world. That to me is success.
Well, I mean, that would have to feel really good if there some project and say like, hey, we met on Traderverse and thank you to Traderverse. That would feel almost better than a stock or a token going to the moon, right? Almost. All right. So Cloud Docs. Let's talk about the next app. So, or DApp. What are Cloud Docs, and how will those be able to help us?
I can go back to a personal story. So, like, Discord evolved into Substack for me, and I started putting out all of this stuff. People started to subscribing with their emails, but there was no easy way for me to push it out to other sources. Like Twitter was like my main way of growing it, and like anytime you put a URL into Twitter, it deprioritizes the post, so you automatically lose engagement day one. So you're already working at a disadvantage. So it was a great tool for me, and it still is a great tool for people to build content, but there's not a really good discoverability. So not only will Cloud Docs be within the ecosystem, so there will be a discover page, and it'll all be financial stuff or educational stuff or NFT newsletters or my community update letters or whatever it is. But the tools within inside of Cloud Docs will be geared towards this kind of content too, and not just all purpose.
Okay, so yeah, it'll have. First of all, you said something that struck a chord with me about if you put a link in Twitter, it deprioritizes your post, which is always a good thing to know about SEO practices. But yeah, so this will be, exactly what it sounds. The Cloud Docs is kind of self-explanatory, but it'll allow you to link to something all in one. And now you're starting to hear kind of the ecosystem that we're talking about. Streams, you're able to get Tradion to be able to have some AI colonies where you can be around other people that are exactly, interested in the exact same thing that you are. And now Cloud Docs, where you don't have to leave the platform and you can see the things that Smart Rick's picks are putting out without ever leaving the platform, as to where before you were just having to use multiple platforms to get everything you were needing, correct?
Correct. And now the reason why we're doing the token is how we can reward each other. And it could be rewarding each other peer-to-peer, or it can be from our system and our algorithm that will reward people for doing good jobs and having the best rated content and having the most views that are highly rated. So like I said earlier, like there's so many good people out there just sharing knowledge, and they should be benefiting from that knowledge, because we're talking about making financial gains in our lives, and like all of this information is super valuable.
So this you made me think of something, and I haven't even told you that I'm going to ask this, but so I'm just going to ask it. Yep, that's right.
Cancel the interview.
Yeah, it's over. So whenever I'm watching YouTube, of course, I will have a video that might come up that might tell me something, it's advertising. Or the creator actually says, this video is brought to you by, Apple TV. Enjoy your favorite whatever on Apple TV. See, I just did a
Manscaped.
Yeah, there you go, Manscaped.
Sponsor us.
Exactly. That's what we need. It's Manscaped to sponsor this. Yeah, it'll have one of those, whether it be the creator actually saying it real quick or a pre-roll video. Is there any plans for anything like that within the streams, or there'd be all kinds of places within Traderverse for that? Is there going to be a place for that? Is that something you're looking to keep in?
That's actually one of the utilities of our token. So, obviously we're geared towards having that for, like, I'm an NFT project that wants to get more exposure. Yeah, you could use our token to buy priority or spotlight, space within the platform for people to discover you. Same thing goes for your colony, your Cloud Doc information, whatever, or your stream. But I would love, we haven't really started talking to these companies, but it's something that we want to do here in the near future, is go to a Manscaped. I always love using them as an example because I see them everywhere, and they have one of our, they have their sights set on one of the talents that we've already brought or bringing to the platform, and they're like, hey, would you sponsor, Manscaped on your guys' podcast? And they say yes, and we would love for them to use token to do so in our ecosystem and make it super easy. It helps the price of our token, and it helps the value of our token for all of our users, so that makes the rewards even greater. So of course we're going to encourage big businesses who have advertising dollars to buy our token.
Okay, so this actually makes me think of a lot of things. One, first of all, everybody will be early as they start out, beginning with as a content creator. They're early as they start out, but as they as that goes on and Traderverse gets to be more and more established, people may want to boost up their colonies, boost up, whatever their content is, and they would do that with takeoff token, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they'd boost it up, and then that creates a good buying pressure for the token in and of itself, because I don't like it whenever I might get tipped in a token, but no one has any reason to buy any. So what's going to happen to the price of the token? It's going to go down. So to me, all the things that you have planned right there, not only might you be tipped in a token, but it actually can go up in price because there's a lot of reasons of why people might buy some. They might buy some to put their content out front to make it, easily seen and easily accessible. So that to me is a good thing. It's not that you're just getting tipped in any currency. It's getting tipped in a currency that actually has utility that people, even businesses, will be, not incentivized, but they will desire to buy some to buy advertising space.
And I think, obviously speaking, because I obviously sip my own Kool-Aid sometimes at Traderverse because we've been working on it for so long, is like that was like one of the big things for us. Like we've been working on this project months, and a lot of these projects just launch a token with this big premise of like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. We want to have a plan. We want to have an unroll some of these features like right away, already built them, or are in development, so you could start to use the utility that we're building around our token right out the gate. And then we think that's the right way of doing it. And any transaction that's done either peer-to-peer to buy something, a membership, a tip, is volume. So not only just trading it, you'll be able to create volume just with microtransactions on the platform, which will support this.
Great. Yeah, I really like this AMA interview that we do on these Thursdays because it can help kind of see the whole big picture of what Traderverse is about. And certainly saying all the pieces that we've said can kind of put the puzzle together. Other piece that I'm seeing, or not one other one, the next one that I'm seeing is it just says market there on the website. And if I click to it, it just says coming soon. So it streams, Tradion, colonies, cloud docs, then it has market. What is market and what are you wanting to do with it?
Well, there's a lot of things that we can do with it, and there's a lot of things that are happening in the background that I can't really talk about. But what I can talk about is a little bit to do with, NFT stuff, merchandise. We also want to have creators in their communities to be able to do a little e-commerce type merchandise domestically within the platform as well, because people love physical items as well to wear and support their community and have some camaraderie in that. So there's a lot of things that we're looking to do and experimenting with idea-wise. A lot of it's going to be determined through the user as well on like what is the best way of doing some of this stuff. But we have some stuff that we want to do, and are being actively worked on. But at the end of the day,
physical or digital, the market could be physical or digital goods.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Because I know, like on YouTube, you can have like the merchandise shelf under your video, and people can get, whatever, whoever is a creator, Mr. Beast, you can get a Mr. Beast shirt, and it can be right there under that shelf. So there is, physical merch, but, we're talking, NFTs a lot too. So there always could be digital merch that could be done as well. And I guess the way, from what I'm hearing you say, any of it is possible. It's all on the table for what could be on the market.
Anything is possible.
Okay. So yeah, that sounds interesting. And okay, another question. Let's say there's a shirt that it's your channel. It's your channel. And if there's a shirt there on your channel on Traderverse, how do I buy your merch through this market? Is it going to be through fiat, or is it going to be through takeoff token, or how will you buy these things on the market?
So, like, in my perspective, I would love to make it where it's just the token, but in reality, we don't want to alienate people, especially because we represent all traders, not just crypto traders. I know we talk a lot about crypto in spaces because, me and a few other people, obviously the voice of DeFi feels like right. DeFi is the future. And, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to make a blended family. So people who aren't really comfortable with crypto or don't really know where to begin, they like start to see it more and get used to it. And so, but we want to give the option of both, at least to begin with. And maybe one day we take it away, but we'll take that deflating dollar or the inflating dollar. Excuse me.
That's pretty funny that you'll end up taking that.
We'll take it, I guess.
I guess. All right, the last one in the apps that I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't mention, because it is something that we look at every day whenever we're trading, and that is Comet Charts. The name Comet Charts came from. So start off by telling me that. What's with the word comment on there?
I mean, it kind of fits in the branding, if I'm just being honest. Traderverse, colonies. It's all kind of spacey themed, and comets. Up and to the right. Up and to the right is what we hope your price will go. I don't know. It just kind of works. It looks like a constellation or a shooting star as a chart, so it just kind of fits, and I think it sounds cool. And but I guess the comet, is just decoration at the end of the day.
That's a good explanation. It's good imagery that goes with it. So tell me a little bit about Comet Charts. Is this going to be a chart exactly like I see on other sites, or is this something more custom being built, or is it just something that's integrated that we might see elsewhere?
So, we can even backtrack to Tradion. So, like some of the things and like equations that it does, and like numbers are great, but visuals are better. And Charts gives it an ability to be a visual. So, just like TradingView or any other thing, we'll have our own charting application. And it's a line or a candle with pricing. You can't really super innovate that. However, you can do some pattern recognition software where you can kind of see where there's like a bull flag or a cup and handle being drawn. Just that kind of stuff. There's some advanced features for sure, and
that's it. I hate to interrupt you there, but seeing a cup and handle or seeing a bull flag or something like that, that's for it to recognize it for you, that would really be helpful for beginners. Because as I was younger, trying to learn chart patterns and whatnot, you go and you look at a YouTube video or you follow a blog or something, and you're like, okay, I think this is what it looks like, and I think that's what I'm seeing on this chart. But having that confirmed by saying, okay, we're kind of seeing that on here kind of play out in real time, that'd be really valuable to a beginner trader, I would think.
Yeah, and it goes back to the Robinhood model of making it as simple as possible so you can understand the information. Because when I went from Robinhood to Webull, which I think Webull is a great brokerage, not sponsored by Webull, but I was really intimidated because they had RSI and Bollinger Bands, and I'm like, whoa, what does all this stuff mean? And it was super intimidating at first. And we want to make it simplistic, but still have those features where you can do that kind of TA. But then also, what's the current process on Twitter to get a chart to Twitter? You have to go to TradingView, you got to take a screenshot, or you draw on it, and then you take the screenshot, or you send the link. And there's so many processes. We want to be able to make it where it's just a click, where it's just all right, send this to my Traderverse page, which is your social profile, and then on top of that, you can connect all of your other social medias, and you could send it out to your Twitter. So it would be one, like Steve Jobs says, nothing should be more than 3 clicks away.
Love that. I love that thought. So yeah, I'm hearing that the charts are very integrated, and like you said, you can just click into it, which begs me to say, what's the home screen for Traderverse? Is it more akin to Twitter, where it's small blurbs and then I can click into the colonies or that sort of thing from the, where's the main feed? What can I expect from the main feed from it?
Okay, so we're calling it an activity feed, and we'll even use Meta or Facebook, where you have all of the stuff you subscribe to coming to you. So if it's news based on what you subscribe to, users, what you follow, portfolio updates, it gets put into this queue. But you also can search more broadly. You can parse it down to just charts, or just what you want to see, or just a ticker and see like all the other stuff that's going on, just news, whatever you want. But it'll be a curated front page based on what you view, what you own, and what you want to see, and then there'll be broader views or more niche views in search.
Okay. Because, with every social media that there is, whether it be, YouTube, I'm kind of scrolling through little thumbnails of videos. With Twitter, I'm just scrolling through everybody's thoughts on whatever it is there, what sandwich they ate that day. With Facebook, I'm looking at everybody's, posts about their crazy political opinions from Grandpa Eddie or something, So it's every...
Fake news.
What'd you say?
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news. There you go.
Fake news media.
So there, there's a feel to every social media. So that's what I was just trying to ask is what's the feel that it kind of has? And I think you've kind of answered that it's going to be kind of customizable to me about what I want there on like a home page. Correct?
Well, it's about the user experience. It's about what you want. Because let's look at investors. Like some people are day traders, some people are options traders, some people are long-term investors, some people just want news. To learn. Some people, like, everyone's different. Everyone has different strategies, different time commitments. There'll be different packages that you can subscribe to that will like niches and but like not every one trader fits all.
Man, I love that because it's individualized. You're right. Some people I've heard trade and they like to have like some meditation music going on. They like to have it, kind of in a vibe while they're trading. Other people like to have spaces on or like to have, want to listen to me and you, actually voices talking while they're
People
trading.
Like to listen to us?
I know, it'd be crazy. Yeah, but there's I think it just, everybody is individualized for what they want, just how they want to trade. And so individualizing what their home screen makes sense because it's, different strokes for different folks, which, by the way, speaking of listening to us, there's a couple of people in the audience, and you can always invite more people to our next Thursdays where we do this. But if you've got any questions, if you've heard me ask some questions and you're like, dang it, Voice of DeFi, will you just ask this one question that I'm really wanting to know? I can't read your mind. So if you would like to have a question, don't be shy to raise your hand and ask the question. And Smart Rick here can be happy to answer it. But even if you're listening not live, we do the spaces Monday through Wednesday over on Twitter Spaces, but on Discord here on Thursdays, a chance to be able to ask questions as well. So don't be afraid to, even if you don't want to get on a microphone, some people are shy about that, to send a message to me, send a message to Smart Rick, send a message to the TRADERVERSE Twitter account.
We'll do it in general, whatever. Someone will pick it up and read it, and if it's next week that we answer it, or maybe we do a whole show on it, because like it might be a very popular question.
Well, if it's a popular question and there's like a lot of roots to it, there's a lot of explanation to it, it's not just a yes or no answer, then like he said, we can do a whole show on it. This show, the Traderverse community update that we do on Thursdays, it's going, in my mind, and you may disagree, but it's going to evolve the most probably, because right now we're giving overviews. But as launch happens, and as we get more into a product that people can see and feel, to me, we'll be more addressing user concerns. We'll be more addressing, user comments.
Absolutely.
It will really evolve from now. Right now, we're kind of telling you what it's going to be, but eventually it will be people's comments on things. And no doubt, people will say, "I don't like this," and "I don't like that," and I will facilitate the grilling of Smart Rick here, where we can say, why the hell is it like that? And that's
asking the tough questions.
Exactly. All of my questions will start with what gives you the right.
Right now, as a company, we're fueling the rocket that is going to take off to the Traderverse.
Yeah.
Decided there.
I love the moon imagery. I love the space imagery. Yes. Yeah, I did see. I told you I need a rim shot here on my little stream deck here. But yeah, so these Thursday community updates, invite some more people into here. If you've heard kind of the vision and you can see the vision, then spread the word, because like we said, you're early. So this is your chance to be a part of a social network as it launches, which to me, I think a lot of people wish they could have done that with TikTok or wish they could have done that with YouTube. Well, this will be your chance to do it, but in the financial industry. Also, in case you don't know this, in YouTube, the financial world, it's thought of as very good for advertisers, by the way, as we were talking about the token being used in advertisers. You're paid more per view in YouTube in the financial sector than you are in the cat sector, the cat video sector. So,
well, yeah, I mean, everyone's trying to make an investment. That means they have disposable income. Hopefully, they have disposable income to make an investment into something, like whether it be a security or cryptocurrency or
absolutely all kinds of things. So,
or landscape,
it's a good community there to advertise to. So to me, there's a lot of reasons of why Traderverse will succeed, and a little bit of it is everything they have seems like a good idea, but also just the team behind it is rather intelligent and rather experienced in the field. So I don't think it's because I think ideas are a dime a dozen. You can have people come up with great ideas, but you have to have a good team to execute it. And I think we've got both here. I think we've got a good idea, and I think we've got a good team to execute it here. Sarum, like you said, he's very, very intelligent, really knows what he's doing. And Smart Rick here, don't let him fool you with his other name of Dumb Brick. He's rather intelligent as well. So, all the different... Yeah,
I'm okay.
He's all right. But all the different little people that they put in the positions that they have, they're very talented in that they have. I mean, just look at the graphics that are put out there. I mean, it's every little detail has been thought of. Say that again.
PK is a beast.
He is. I've
so
got to pump
talented.
him up a little bit here,
yeah.
Every time I see something he puts out, I'm like, wow. That did not come off of Fiverr. I mean, that's a...
he doesn't get enough praise, and yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. We are building an all-star team, and we have a great core already, and we're looking to expand. So even if you're a developer or have a special skill and you hear this somehow, hit us up. Maybe there's a place for you, the Traderverse. There's a place for every trader in the Traderverse, but we're gonna need architects, engineers, influencers, creators, everything to build this beautiful place, this metropolis for traders, and we want more people. This is not inclusive, so
for sure. So tomorrow we're going to be right back here on Discord, but it's not going to be a Traderverse community update. We are going to have an AMA tomorrow, and it's going to be with Pixel. Zach, you want to give just a quick overview on Pixel and what they can expect on the Traderverse community update? I think I might have lost Smart Rick. I think your bandwidth is rugging you a little bit. I wonder if it's me. I wonder if I just can't hear you. Well, I'm gonna just guess that it's you and not me, but that's the only thing I can say. But I don't see. I only hear little bits and pieces of what you're saying. But tomorrow we do have the Pixel NFT creation that's coming in, and it's not just NFT creation; it's actually a game where you can use other NFTs within its metaverse. So they've got 4 groups that they've already signed on with, and we're gonna have the creator of them come on here tomorrow for an AMA, which is gonna be really good, and I'm really excited to hear more about it. It will we'll really be able to learn a lot from their project, but they'll be here tomorrow. It's you, okay? He just said it's Rick just texted me, so it's me. So yeah, it's me. Oh, okay, you're back. I heard that. So yeah, we will have Pixel here tomorrow for an AMA. So make sure you join in and hear that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties. But at some point we do. That's just the fun. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, it has been fantastic to be able to do this Traderverse community update. We'll do it again next Thursday, but don't wait till then. Meet us tomorrow here at the same time, and we will have Pixel on here, and it will be we'll learn a whole lot about their project.